Hello, good morning to all of you. I heard a couple of clips, video clips. I watched a couple of video clips on the internet of Swami Sukhabodhananda Saraswati. He's the head of Prasanna Trust in Bangalore, and he conducts live programs. A way to get in touch with your inner soul and inner self through tools like contemplation, meditation, and soul searching. That's all. And I've done a life program. All right. So it also helps you to develop a broader perspective, broader outlook, more liberal ideology, to life, and that sort of positive. The companies back in my day, as I knew for a fact, would have him give these live programs to their working staff. So, so that was, and he said in the video clip, two video clips I watched, one of them, he said that spirituality should be dynamic and flowing like the Kona Chara in Kathak dance. And in the other, he said that a bullock cart, you should not be like a bullock cart. You should be more like an airplane. But the example he used was an airplane, because you go to a pilot lands in a remote village, in some secluded part of the country. Then they have never seen an airplane. They think it's like a bullock, it's like a bullock cart which can store big bullock cart which can store a lot of vegetables and grains and that sort of thing. So he has a very nice creative side to his talks. It's up to you. You can subscribe. I have no idea if it costs money. I've heard him talk. So, anyways, he said, so I thought I would look at Bharatanatyam myself. And because my niece is very proficient in Bharatanatyam, as she is in South Indian classical music, Carnatic music. So I remember there were only four mudras which were shown, four hand gestures, all right, which are used in dance. One was the lotus, and I remember only two. The third one was the lotus, all right. Everybody likes the lotus. Goddess Lakshmi is going to visit their homes and their purses, their wallets. So they like so something like this and whatever. So that's the lotus, more near the heart. I think you would keep it near the heart. So the chatura I looked at because remember in Life of Pi, um, Anglis, right? Angli was Life of Pi, and the book was by Jan Martel. And I never read the book, but my son and I went and watched this movie all on our own. What a nice movie! So this Chatura, he teases the hero teases the dancer, Bharatanatyam dancer, about the Chatura. So the Chatura, she does the Chatura like this all the time. So why did you do it? That is his question. He's the player of the Indian drum, the mridangam, one of the Indian drums. The other is the tabla. So so four fingers. So my thoughts on four fingers. All right, on the chatura. Chatura means four. Four fingers. So the four fingers without the thumb represent your intelligence. Well, chatura is a symbolic of intelligence. Chatura, so chatura is flowing, ever present, as Swami in Swamiji's words. So intelligence is ever flowing, continuing. It has the aspect of kind of continuity to it, and so it represents your intelligence. The thumb is the right-minded or the left-minded identity. All right, so right mind, left mind. So the way God created humankind, intelligence is the defining feature of a person or child. Of course, for women it's also beauty and other aspects. So of aspects of the soul, because they raise children, they mostly. So So they're said to be more sympathetic and more compassionate. That's the right word. That's the right word I was looking for. So anyway, Draupadi with the Chatura would not be Panchali. All right, I had to say with the four would not be the wife of five brothers, the five Pandava brothers. So so the rule of thumb. At, so the rule of thumb you all know in physics, the rule of thumb, electricity flows. There's the rule of thumb from left to right, right to left, all those, so adjacent direction, um, and right angle to the other four fingers, the thumb. The hypotenuse connects the index to the thumb. And it would be interesting to measure this. Different measures, different depending on the size of the hands and fingers, length of the fingers. Yeah. So the four fingers or chatura index. So as applying to Indian, ancient society, Brahmin, intellectual. So index, Brahmin, intellectual. Middle, Kshatriya, the ruling class. Ring finger, Vaishya, trader. Well, people, trader, popular. Women like wealth, or men also like wealth. If you classify women as being only the lovers of wealth, but the ring finger, right? Ring finger. Wealth comes to women, some wealth, but to get along, get ahead in life, to get along. So that comes with the ring finger. So that's the trader class, all right? So the little finger, Shudra, status in life was low. Or that was unfortunate truth about ancient Hindu society. All right, so that was my talk inspired by Swami Sukhabodhananda Saraswati. All right, so you can think along the lines, four fingers and measure the hypotenuse and etc. All right, signing out, Gayatri B. Sitaram. Don't go anywhere. You have to watch the other two videos which are coming up. So it's one video right away, and then when you're watching, but you wouldn't know. They're all taped as videos. See, they would be in sync with your own schedule. So the third video comes after a bit of a costume change. All right.